Hey Dave, rotation wise, will you keep the same three this weekend? Do you know?
Yeah, we'll keep the same three. We'll announce it tomorrow like last week.
Okay. Uh, you got more length out of your starters last weekend than you did against Ole Miss. What did you see that was different last week, and maybe what do they need to do to build on that this week?
Well, command was a lot better. Location, you think about um, really the two left-handers, uh, a lot more strikes, especially early in the count. Root was obviously been able to land his breaking ball, and I thought Landon was, after the first couple innings, he got better and started mixing and was throwing a lot of strikes ahead in the count. As far as Gackle, he just had a rough outing. We got to get him rolling.
Vanderbilt's such a unique place with a turf field, and obviously everything's just a little bit different there. What makes it such a unique, and I guess even difficult place to play?
Well, there's no foul territory. The benches are not too far from the fair foul lines, and different background, but it's still baseball field. Just got to get used to it a little bit. But the surface is quick. It's all turf, and they play their style of ball, and they really do it well at home.
You played 5 games last week, so I guess you get a little bit more practice time this week. I think you just got off the field from a practice. How nice was it to have practice time, and what are some of the things you're able to address in practices this time of year?
Well, today was really the first time we've been able to really work on things. Example, bunt coverages and first and third situation, rundowns, cutoffs, relays, just those type of things where, when you're playing 5 games a week, Monday's your off day, you play Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. Last Thursday we traveled and you're working out a different field. You have to try to figure out exactly what you want to go over. A lot of times what you do is you just talk about it. Today we were able to walk through some things, discuss some things, and maybe feel a little bit better about when it happens in game that we're ready to handle it.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Matt Burns, go ahead.
Yeah, hi Dave. Kind of just with a result that was yesterday. What's kind of your style with the guys moving forward? Are you vocal with them? Are you not? Are you gentle? Are you more direct? I mean, what's that process like?
So, like about the game last night, today,
Yeah, and just like moving forward.
now moving forward, just discuss the game for maybe 5 minutes as a full group after we were done stretching, and then we go over Vandy, and then we go over what we're going to do in our workout and what we want to accomplish, and a few other things. No, I mean, I just told them what I feel. I'm always really honest with them, and I think they appreciate that. That I felt like that we kind of got what we deserved. I didn't feel like we'd blow a 5-run lead, but they didn't make mistakes. We did. We walked more than normal, and give credit to them offensively. They did a great job of keeping that big inning going in the ninth.
And then for this weekend, is your message more so, hey, let's keep doing what we were doing like we did against South Carolina, or does every single SEC series require a different mindset?
Well, it's different, a little bit different. You're not the way you play or how you approach it as far as mentally. It's more about uh, their style of play, their personnel, their starters and what they do. So there's always differences in the teams you play, but that we don't change a whole lot about what we do. We just try to continue to get better.
Is there any players that particularly stuck out to you today for just, them showing up to a ballpark, guys talk to each other, after kind of a heartbreaker last night?
Yeah, I think we move on. We told them last night after we said a few things, we needed to move on for the most part. And I did tell them that I may touch on a few things tomorrow, but we try to learn from it and get better. And like I said last night, sometimes you lose a game, it might help you win a game down the road, and we hope that'll end up being the case.
Thank you.
Daniel, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Coach. Just touching on Vanderbilt for a second. J.D. Thompson, somebody, their Friday night guy, somebody you saw 2 years ago. Another one of these guys that, third year in the program. Just how have you seen him maybe develop throughout the 3 years?
Well, I think like most kids that have been at the Division I in the SEC, whether you've moved around or not, you're confident. That's what I see mostly from the older kids is that, you can tell they're not second guessing themselves as much, and they play with a little edge and confidence. And, that's what Vanderbilt does. They play with a lot of confidence.
And then Cam's going back to Vanderbilt, something that happens, a little bit more in this portal era. Do you talk to players, before a series like this for them personally? How do you kind of approach that?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, maybe not to the point where you call them in the office and you have them sit down with them. You just talk to them. Hey, you got another personality, what they're all about. And, it's a 3-game series. They all count the same, and, try to control your emotions as much as possible and just do what you do and don't worry about it.
Evan.
Yeah, hey coach. Well, I guess Daniel stole my question about Kojal going back to Vandy, but curious when it comes to the bullpen, Aiden Jimenez had a really big week last week. Where do you hope to see him continue to grow and continue that positive momentum and the positive trend of how well he's pitching on the mound?
Yeah, just continue, getting that arm right. He's 1 year out from Tommy John approximately, and velocity's been climbing slowly. The command has been there, which is amazing to me because that's usually an issue. He's just been dependable, whether they hit him or not. We know he's going to throw it around the plate with some movement. And, just him continue to gain confidence, and the players have confidence in him. The coaches do. And you never know, he could be a long reliever. He could close games. He could start a game. I feel like he can do it all. And he did that before the injury.
And last question for me, Coach. Charles Davalon continues to just absolutely hit the ball, at a really high level of leading the offense, kind of that you go, we go mentality for the rest of them. What have you seen kind of from the first 2 weeks that he maybe tweaked or something now that, he's been just absolutely crushing the ball the last couple of games?
Yeah, just first off, his confidence through the roof. He's swinging at strikes. Might swing at the borderline high fastball, but he has a knack for getting on top of that and hitting it to the opposite field and hitting it hard. Just been such a tough out, and there's a threat of power. Obviously he can hit it over your head, over the fence, but he'll also just slap a ball through a hole if he has to with 2 strikes. And you love to see that. But, he tweaked his stance more than 2, 3 a month ago or whatever it was. And, just kind of closed up, and, maybe it felt awkward at first, but now it's natural and it looks natural. And I think it helps him use the whole field better, and there takes a lot of the timing out of that front leg, so it's been good to watch.
Thanks, Coach.
Come back around, Matt.
Yeah, hey, Dave, I try to limit my questions about him to once a week, but do you have an update on Gage Wood and Hunter Dietz, and kind of what the timeline is for both of them right now?
Well, Gage seems to be getting better. It's all about him getting his arm back in shape. He does not having any pain. Now it's like building him up, and we can put him in a game, excuse me, or throw to some hitters first and then put him in a game. But I think he's on his way. With Hunter, it's not going great, honestly. He doesn't have the command and the velocity and that he had before the injury. So still really don't know what to tell you there.
I noticed with both of them, they traveled down to Oxford a couple of weeks ago. Have the travel rules, have they loosened a little bit as to how many players you can take on the road?
You can take what you want.
As far as, is it still a 27 man? Has that expanded at all?
It's 30.
Okay.
30.
How does that help? Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but how does that, in terms of when you're putting together that 30-man roster, kind of maybe could you take us through what's your evaluation on how many pitchers you want, and how many position players you want, and who to leave home?
Yeah. So, let's say we take 32 players and we have our workout, the day before the first game. So this week it's Thursday. We play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If someone was to get hurt, it could make a difference on who we put on, obviously. We knew they couldn't play all weekend, which is nice to have that luxury to do that. But for the most part, you you're not going to put them on there unless you think there's a possibility, even if you're number 28, 29, or 30, could be your third string catcher, that your red shirt, and it could be another guy, your red shirt, and that, that you want to take him on the trip. And if somebody at his position got knocked out or hurt, you could put him on. But yeah, I don't think it's rocket science on this. It's just, you just go by feel and what you see, and realistically who you think possibly could play in the game, help you win.
Okay, thank you.
And Matt and Daniel, you got anything else? Close this out. Daniel?
Yeah, I just have one more on Cam. It seems like he's taken to the first base pretty well. Just what have you seen from him now that he's done it for pretty much more than a month now, that he's been able to take to a new position so well?
I think he's played well over there. He's been solid. I mean, he's a baseball player. He's learning on the fly a little bit, but at the same time, from having a feel for the game and watching the game growing up, he kind of knows what a first baseman's supposed to do. Now he's there. It's just about getting him in the right position on cutoffs and relay type plays, and making sure he attacks bunts in certain situations, and those little things that can be big things in a real game.